Welcome. Today we is day 12 of the challenge, and we're going to continue to talk about the pericardium and triple burner meridians. So hop on your mat and join me. You might want a blanket for this. Um, you may want a block to sit on. We're going to start in a seated position. So if you want to come into Virasana, where you straddle the block or blanket or cushion, whatever you have, and you just sit back on that block, making a little chair. And sit up tall. Start to notice your breath. You can close your eyes if you'd like. Noticing the breath coming in and out of the nostrils. See if you can let the breath be the same on the inhale and the exhale, the same amount of time. So maybe you can breathe in for 5 seconds, breathe out for 5 seconds. And as you're breathing, we're going to take reverse prayer hands. So you're going to take your hands behind your back and press your palms together. Make sure your fingers are pointing upward and not downward. So I'll just turn around real quick so you can see what that looks like. So we're just trying to press the palms together here as much as you can. So fingers aren't pointing down, they're pointing up. If that's not happening for you today, that's okay. You can just try to touch the fingertips, or you can grab opposite elbows behind your back. So you're either here or you're here. So decide what's best for you and try to relax the shoulders. Relax the shoulders down from the ears. Keep focusing on that breath, breathing in the nose, out the nose, and allowing the breath to be equal on the inhale and the exhale. And remember, the pericardium meridian is like that protector of the heart. So it's kind of related to the heart, and it goes up around by the wrist, which is why when we have our hands like this, it's adding a little kind of acupressure to that area. So it starts in the center of the chest and comes out to the inner arm, all the way down to the wrist into the middle finger. And then its little pair meridian is the triple burner meridian, which I talked about yesterday. And that's more on the back side of the arm. It looks almost like a mirrored channel of the pericardium. One's on the front and one's on the back. Although the triple burner goes up to the neck as well, or to the top of the shoulder. And the pericardium is more on the inner arm, near the armpit. This is one of those poses that you really need to breathe into it and really relax the shoulders here. Relax the arms as much as you can. And when you come out of it, I feel like that's when you really notice the work that you did in the pose. And you can even imagine someone coming up behind you and gently pulling the elbows back to get a deeper sensation. If you want to add a little neck stretch here, you can drop the left ear toward the left shoulder. Pull the chin back first and then drop the ear. That way you're stretching the back of your neck as well as the sides of your neck. We'll switch over, hold the chin back, switch over to the other side. This is also great if you've been working at a computer all day. Probably feels pretty good. Really lift the sternum up to the sky here. Now that you've been in the pose for a while, maybe things can start to open up a little bit more, maybe go a little deeper, or maybe you're just the same, and that's okay. Head back to center, lift the chin to the sky. And chin to chest. Let's release our arms. You can take some shoulder rolls here, nice and slow. And then reverse the circles. All right. And there's another one I'd like to do while we're sitting here, and that's taking the right hand behind the back and reach for the inside elbow pit of the left. You can rest the left hand on your thigh if you want. So kind of the same thing, except one hand is resting on the thigh. And then drop the left ear toward the left shoulder. Take some deep breaths here, breathing into any deep sensations you may be feeling. And take your head back to center and we'll reverse. So left hand behind your back, reaching for the inside elbow pit of the right. Then drop the right ear toward the right shoulder. Breathe. Try to keep the body still. Relax the shoulders. And bring the head back to center. Reverse that. Release that hand. You can take some slow head circles here. Reverse the circles. And then the last one we're going to do today is tucking the toes under and sit back on the heels. You can still sit on a block if you want, but this is the toe squat here. And from here, we'll take the right arm crossed over the left, thumbs pointing down, and bring the palms together. Interlace the fingers. Then take the wrists through underneath your chin, bending the elbows, wrists up toward your chin, and then out in front of you. Maybe you can straighten your arms, maybe not. This is also working into that channel. If this is too much on your toes or on your feet, you can always untuck the toes, sit back on your heels. Breathe into the sensations in your arms. You could actually hold this for about 3 minutes, but for today, we're just going to hold it for a little bit of time. A couple more breaths. Still relaxing the shoulders here. Then bring the hands back toward your face, the way you came, back down toward the ground and out in front of you. And then we'll switch the cross of your hands, left arm on top of the right. Palms come together, thumbs face down, interlace the fingers, and then roll your wrists up toward your chin and out in front of you. Just stop where you feel the most sensation, or where you feel a mild sensation, I should say, and then try to relax the arms. And then bring the hands back toward the face, out in front. You can roll out the wrists and then come off of your toes. If you are on them, you can untuck them, tap the tops of your feet into the mat, and then roll down to your back. You can take Shavasana here. If you want to continue to work on that meridian, I think we did this one yesterday. You can take, like, say, your right hand, roll to the left side, take your right hand behind your back, palm facing down to the mid back, right behind your chest, and then roll back down. Take your left hand behind your head, just resting your head on your left hand. You can stay here, relaxing down. If you're watching this at a later time, you can pause the video here and just take your time on this pose, however much time you want to take, maybe 3 to 5 minutes. See if you can notice your heart beating through your hand. Then you roll back to that left side, release that hand, and we'll switch to the other side. Left hand behind your back, palm face down, roll down onto that hand, right hand behind your head. Relax the body, relax the shoulders. You can roll to the right, release that hand, and take a Shavasana. Take 3 long, slow breaths, fully relaxing your body from the head to the toes. But for time, we'll have to end here. But please take time for yourself and take that Shavasana. You deserve it. Hope you feel great. And I hope to see you tomorrow for the next video. The light in me honors the light in you. Have a beautiful day or night. Namaste.